This is Heath Common, common land once used by the citizens of Wakefield for the grazing of their cattle. It has remained common land up to this day, thanks to Charles Waterton, for it was he who saved it from being divided up and sold in 1840. Cattle no longer graze on the common, but there are plenty of ponies belonging to the gypsies to keep the grass cropped. And of course it is a popular place for walking the dogs. Once there was a 9-hole golf course here, and even a clubhouse, which has since both fallen into decay and been renovated. At the top end of the common is the King's Arms. Built in 1700, it was once 2 cottages. It faces the part of the common where the Heath Common Fair has been held for many a year at Easter. The pub is a popular drop-in for visitors to the common, where a refreshing pint can be put away in pleasant surroundings. Between here and the River Calder was Heath Old Hall. The bit of old wall that can be seen at the end of this new house is all that remains. The body of Lady Bowles, who lived in the hall, was incarcerated inside until 1960, when the hall was demolished. She was also responsible for building this water tower. Her unleashed spirit is now said to haunt the area. The present hall, built in 1707, was used in both World Wars as a hospital and by the army respectively. That it is in its present well-preserved state is thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Oddie, who in 1959 needed more land to raise their ponies and to run their pony club, only to find the hall practically thrown in, giving them a new interest. The village of Heath has been designated a conservation area because of its outstanding historical and architectural interest. The 18th century beach lawn is just one of the irregular sited residences, adding charm to the village. The house is surrounded by a ha-ha, or ditch, to prevent grazing cattle from straying onto the lawns. Just as attractive are the small cottages, such as the King's Arms. And the village post office, which has a perfectly preserved red telephone box. Not to mention the old post box bearing the initials GR. The old village schoolhouse dates back to the 1600s, when Lady Bowles provided £21 a year to pay for a schoolmaster. Parents of fee-paying pupils had to pay £2 per year, and goods of some kind payable to the schoolmaster. Hens, corn, or even a small pig was acceptable. In the 18th century, a 2-roomed cottage was added to the school for the master, who had to promise to behave himself and remain celibate. Before there were any roads, a favourite walk on a Sunday was to cross the fields over the ferry to the Half Moon, which led to Kirkthorpe, where refreshments could be taken at the Cheesecake Inn, also dating back to 1600, now a private residence. In the churchyard of St. Peter's Church in Kirkthorpe is a little bit of French history, for in 1792 some nuns of the Benedictine order escaped the French Revolution to come to Heath Hall, where they lived between 1811 and 1821, during which time 9 of them died. Apart from one, their gravestones only held their initials. Their ages ranged between 15 and 94. From Kirkthorpe and from Heath Village, footpaths still exist, and lead over the fields to the River Calder, providing a pleasant walk. This walk ends at the Chantry Bridge, where stands the Chapel of St Mary's, one of only 4 bridge chapels in the country, and where services are still held once a month on a Sunday, and where a peaceful garden in which to rest has been created by the City Council.